Today I'm taking a look at the KJV Giant Print Thinline Bible from Thomas Nelson. This is a text-only edition in red letter with large 12-point type comfort print font, and it comes with and without thumb index. So we will look at both, and we will also look at the two different covers, which is black and brown. Now the brown is really close to the red side. I actually thought it was red when I first saw it. So it's a little bit different shade of brown than what we'll see on some of the other Thomas Nelsons we'll look at in a few minutes. But, well, starting with this one. This one has a smooth grain and a nice little debossed design around the perimeter. Perimeter stitched, and then the spine is pretty. The spine has some little dark patches with some designs on there. These are stamped on or printed on, I'm not sure which. And then the thumb index is the same design, and then we throw a thumb index on there. It has 4 books per tab. I haven't cleaned these up much. 4 books per tab. I personally prefer 3. Actually, I prefer 1. 1 book per tab, but that is helpful if you need thumb index. The black, that one, wow, that one looks like goatskin. And if you just see a picture of that, you're going to think that's goatskin. That is pretty. And it's got the same debossed design, just not darker, so you don't notice it as much. Gold printing, and then the spine. The spine doesn't have that nice design on it like that one does. So let's just take a look at what we got here. And here is that's the thumb index of that one. The one I've been using is this one. I have been preaching from this one. And something about this, it is... All right, first of all, we have a paste down liner. We have 1 thick end sheet. And that's used as the presentation page. And then our paper. Now, I'm not sure what the GSM of this paper is. Low 30s, I'm guessing. But I don't know that for a fact. Smythe sewn. And then 2 ribbons. The brown has a red and a brown ribbon, while the black has a red and a black ribbon. And the paper is decently opaque. You do have a little bit of show through. It does work for the price range. And this is the 2K Denmark comfort print design. This is made in China. And large print. Something I wanted to show you, though. This is the thing about this Bible. That stays open. Any page. I mean, it stays open. That is ridiculous. I love that. This is the one thing that turns me away from using a lot of Bibles, especially in the imitation leather like these. If it stays open like that and I don't have to fight it, I can use that. I've preached from this thing for about a month now, and I love preaching from this. 12-point font is large and dark, no distractions in the text, easy to read from, easy to preach from. The section headings are in all caps. No trouble with this at all. A little bit of a large footprint, which you'll see in just a minute. But still light and easy to carry. And then a red letter. Good dark red. Zoom in so you can see that. I love that red. Red is excellent. Super excellent. And then... so no footnotes or references or anything like that. Nothing to get in the way. Books start on a new page, so you do have a few pages there with some that you can write on if you wanted to. Line matched. So the lines of text on one side of the page are in the same location as the lines on the other side of the page to help improve readability. Now, sometimes if the paper's not opaque enough, that show through will make the text a little bit gray. This doesn't, so at least not in my lighting so far. I haven't had any issues with it, and it looks really easy to read. One thing I like about the layout, there's a lot of space in the inner margin. That brings that text out of that gutter. You'll actually see more space in the inner margin than in the outer margin, so that makes it easier to keep the page flat, to keep the text flat on the page. Doesn't bend so much into a gutter at all. And then in the very back we have a 1-year reading plan. red letter all the way through Revelation. Our 1 year reading plan gives us a morning and an evening reading. From the morning is from the New Testament, the evening is from the Old Testament, and then it gives you the month and then the date. Getting a lot of shadow there on it. And then we have our standard maps that they use. They're annotated. They don't have an index or anything like that, but the annotations are easy to follow, easy to read. They do include elevation, dates, events, routes, borders, journeys. Lots of events happening there. There's some of the elevation, some topographical information there. So it is floppy, really floppy. So that might be a little difficult for some. I do find it easy enough to hold open and read, but no, it will flop down a little bit. That's the floppiest I've ever seen in an imitation leather. Our overall size is 7 1/4 by a touch over 10 1/2 by 1 inch. And let's weigh it. £2, 4.9 ounces. 2 pounds, 5 ounces. Now let's take a look at a few comparisons. So the first I want to compare with is the large print Thinline. It's its own layout, so it's not the same Bible, just smaller, but it is very similar. Same design, same tools. Text only edition. So, but not the same pagination or anything like that. But here's how they compare. Now, if you can preach from a little bit smaller Bible, this one is great for preaching. The thing I don't care for it as much is that it won't stay closed or won't stay open for me. Now, if this one had this cover, I'd preach from this guy. I love this one. That's easy to carry, easy to hold, easy to read from. That's beautiful. I'd love to see this in a Premier collection. I want that really bad. Then we have our preaching Bible. For that, I want to compare to the brown because I want to show you the difference. Now, this one is calfskin. We're talking about a different price range altogether, but I wanted to show you the size difference and font difference. So, a little bit smaller footprint, but thicker. The cover on this is more mahogany. The cover on that is closer to the red side. And then this is a lot thicker paper too. 36 GSM paper. But the and this is a little bit more opaque and easier to turn. But at the same time, this is a little bit easier to read from if you need a little bit larger print. So there's how they compare. Now this one doesn't have any other tools in the back at all. I kind of prefer to have something back there. But so if you're trying to find one to preach from, it really depends on if you want footnote keys and reference keys and things like that in there. I personally don't really like to have all that in my text when I'm preaching. I like a cleaner text. So I actually find this one a little bit easier to preach from. I'm liking that one. I'm liking that one a lot. Next is the giant print reference edition from the Premier collection. Now you can get this also in imitation leather, just different paper, more similar to that one. But I just wanted to show you the layout and design and font size more than anything. So this one is also brown and obviously quite a bit different color. This is goatskin. And then thicker with a slightly smaller footprint. This one is 36 GSM paper. And the font size in this one is a little bit larger than this one, just slightly. So that's how they compare. So that's our quick look at the Thomas Nelson giant print KJV in the comfort print. They are going to release this fall in Premier Collection, and I'm looking forward to seeing that. I think that's going to be a good Bible. So Thomas Nelson did supply this in exchange for an honest review, and that's always an honest review, not a positive review. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll place some links in the notes where you can make a purchase or see the written review on BibleBuyingGuide.com with more detail.